Hello there, fellow Wallalo warriors, and welcome back to the ZeroEmpires Invitational. This is round 4 once again, and today we have a set between Robo and Hallis, your scholar. It should be a pretty good set of games, actually. Both of these guys come so far without losing a single game this tournament, and they will be facing up in round number 4. This is the third set of round 4 that we'll watch. There is one more set to come, and then we will be going on to the semi-finals, and it should be a good one. I've been told that this set of games is quite good, so I'm certainly looking forward to seeing how it goes. So before we really get going, I'm gonna first of all start by speeding things up a little bit, but I want to apologize in advance if I suddenly sneeze or something along those lines. I've got a bit of a cold, and it's not the best for casting games, but at least it's not rendered me, completely useless. I can still sit at the PC and talk, though my throat may get a little bit sore quite soon. So we will see how it goes. But yeah, just so you know. So anyway, down to the south of the map in the teal, we've got Robo playing as the Italians, of course, and up to the sort of northeast of the map in the blue, we have got Hallis, your scholar, we'll just call him Hallis, playing as the Italians as well. Italians war on Team Islands, and so far we've seen landings in both Team Islands games that we've watched. So, if we see a landing in this game as well, we will see a 3 for 3 landing guarantee. And yeah, I mean, it's certainly viable and something that you see fairly often on Team Islands at any rate, because it is just such a great map for doing that on. So I'm going to just obviously keep things speeded up through the Dark Age, because Age of Empires 2 HD does run a little bit slowly when it's on normal speed. Though, I guess it's not that slow, but it just feels a little bit slower. I don't know. Maybe it's just me being a little bit mad. Worth noting as well, cows on this map does mean that that will delay the transition to berries in the feudal age a little bit. And we'll save them a little bit of wood, so you could see a little bit more of an aggressive feudal rush with having cows on Team Islands. And I've said this before, I think it's interesting how having the cows can actually really change how the gameplay, or how the game goes in this situation. Hallis here with 4 cows left under his TC. That's a total of 4 times 50 food, so 600 food there for him. And Robbo with 3 cows left, 2 sort of sitting under the TC there, but they're both pretty close at this point in time. 25 population each, both up to the feudal age in nearly identical times as well. And it should be pretty close going into the feudal age here at this rate anyway. Now, so far just 1 dock up for each, but we will see the second and third dock coming up fairly soon. Nice thing as well about the Italians, of course, is that the feudal age research does cost 10% less, as does all all next age upgrades. They're all 10% cheaper, which is nice on a water map, as it does mean you will get a little bit of a faster grush out, and that is vital to gaining water control. And of course, having water control will inevitably help you to defend or spot a landing coming in. As I say, I'm always hopeful for a landing. It's probably the most exciting way to play Team Islands. Now, neither of them have scouted each other out, but their fishing ships are actually just, meters away from each other, barely outside of each other's line of sight here. And that is, pretty tough, actually, because it's going to put the fishing ships under a lot of pressure very quickly, and they may end up having to move them away. They've docked very, very close together, and docking on the front usually is an indicator of wanting to play very aggressively in the feudal age, and it seems like both of them gearing up to do a full grush here without any contemplation of a landing just yet. Now, some players, they will try and go for the landing as soon as they get up to the feudal age. Bear in mind, in the Forgotten, you can actually build a transport ship in the Dark Age, which doesn't even mean that you could do a drush on Team Islands now, which is really cool. I do like that little feature of the Forgotten there. Of course, all of the games in this tournament are being played on the Forgotten Empires. So both of them are heading over to each other, but Hallis slips past Robo there. Robo can turn around and get a few free shots in, and that means he has got the advantage already, just by a tiny margin, as he takes some HP off of this galley here. Now, of course, if water control starts to slip away, you will see one player usually trying to go to snipe the fishing ships of the other player. And if that happens, then we know that a landing may be incoming. And I'm probably just boring you guys with saying, oh, a landing, oh, it might be a landing. That's just all I want to see, you know. That's what I like to see. And that's why I chose Team Islands in the map pool. So Robo's doing a nice thing here, building houses around the shoreline. That'll make sure that he can spot any landing attempts. Once those houses get built around the edge and Town Watch's research, that really does help quite significantly. And we can see as well that both of them now, well, going to start taking cows very soon. Hallis already switching back to food, whereas Robo at the moment purely onto wood, which is a little bit concerning because he could stop villager production very soon if he runs out of food here. He has only the 4 fishing ships bringing in the food, and at the moment 3 of them are gathering from shorefish as well. Like I said, with being so close together, Robo cannot afford to take the fish, you know, out here in the middle. He'd have to go all the way over here. And at the moment, these fishing ships are pretty efficient. So, you know, he's taking the berries. And again, like I said earlier, why take the berries? You've got the cows under your TC. You may as well go for it. Now, in terms of micromanagement, I would say that Hallis is probably going to have the edge. He's definitely one of the best Age of Empires 2 HD players out there at the moment, and you know, I imagine he would have slightly better micro. However, forgetting to patrol there, and Robo gonna come in and pick off a quick galley, and in actual fact, Hallis is a good 100 score behind, and Robo definitely the underdog going into this matchup, but he's having a good game so far, and he's starting to, well, creep ahead slightly in the score. He's definitely investing everything he's got into galleys at the moment, and you can see that by obviously having no idle dock time at all. Obviously, the main difference here, though, is that Hallis putting a few villagers onto food a little sooner, taking the cows rather than taking the berries, and Robbo here spent 100 wood on this mill much sooner than he would otherwise really have to. But so far it's looking good for him. Like I say, I mean, picked off a galley from Hallis already. And he's also forcing Hallis's fishing ships to go a little bit idle, but he will still take some deep sea fish here. So obviously the first one to kind of really break through on the water will get a big difference, but Robbo, nice timing, getting that fletching upgrade and pushing forwards in the same moment. Very nicely done, and I believe he... I literally just saw it. I think Robbo lost a ship there. But going into this engagement, Robbo, obviously with the advantage, might be slightly further behind in ships overall. But with that +1 attack done, he did have a tiny advantage going into that fight. Hallis, though, getting fletching as well now. And it is just going to come down to who is going to win this fight. At the moment, it looks like neither of them really trying to micro at all here. But Hallis probably going to take the victory just thanks to having a few more ships on the water. Robbo going back with 4. Hallis with way more now out here, and well, let's have a quick look very quickly. 7 ships on the water for Robbo and 12 on the water for Hallis, and that is looking good for him. I mean, that is completely turned it around. A 200 score just changing in an instant, and Hallis even managing to pick off a fishing ship there as well. Robbo now in a little bit of a pickle, and well, continuing to take the deer. It does mean that he will, not the deer, even the berries, just mean that, you know, he's going to struggle a little bit for food here. And if not struggle for food, you know, he could certainly have these villagers on gold or on wood to keep these galleys coming out. At this stage, for Robbo, I mean, he's got 2 choices. You get up another dock and try and push this back from 4 docks rather than just 3, but that's easily countered by Hallis just adding in a 4th dock once he scouts it. Or he could try something a little bit more radical and can try for a landing, but at the moment he's just going to end up sending his galleys to their deaths if they just go in one by one like they are doing for the time being. So I'm wondering the upgrades here for these guys. I mean, Robbo's got a lot of wood in the bank, and you know, he could probably benefit from another couple of villagers going over to gold, and he is going to do that right now as well. But at the moment, yeah, looking pretty damn bad for him on the water, and Hallis just really pulling ahead now as well. So I mean, if you look at Hallis's eco, it was pretty much entirely set up for galleys and galleys alone. He's also now just sticking up a barracks as well, which is obviously a sign that, yeah, he's prepared for a landing. He knows he's won the water. When you stick up a barracks at home and you are winning the water, it's kind of just saying, yeah, I'm pretty confident I've got this, and now I'm just waiting for and preparing for a land attack that could come in any moment. So Hallis is going to be on high alert, and Robo, well, not going to actually do a landing by the looks of it so far. Hallis seems then to be just clearing this one up at the moment. Pretty conclusive water at the moment, and I don't think Robo's even going to get in to touch these fishing ships. There's 3 left for Hallis, and well, maybe he'll snipe one. I don't know. Hallis wants to keep them alive. Oh no, Robo's just going to go straight by. And, well, Hallis lost 1 ship that entire time. 1 fishing ship, that is. And Robo is down to none. What's his plan? Well, at the moment, it seems like just more galleys. And he is adding in more docks in the corner here. Oh, sorry, I feel like I'm about to sneeze any moment now. I'm trying to hold it back. 3 more docks in the corner. So, yeah, I mean, he's doing the kind of strategy I said earlier, adding in more docks. And he's going to try and retake the water. But, you know, coming back from this position, you've kind of got to hope that your opponent lets their guard down a little bit. And, you know, one of the things that could really make a big difference when you're trying to take the water back is if your opponent steps off the gas of galley production. If Hallis thinks, right, I've got the water, not going to make any galleys anymore, and instead I'm going to make fishing ships, then, you know, he could find himself outmassed by Robo fairly quickly if Robo does regain a good mass of galleys in the corner of the map here and tries to storm and take Hallis back. Now, if he comes back, this will be a fantastic comeback, but it's going to be tough, let's be honest. So, Hallis at the moment is starting to make some archers. Not garrisoning them, sending them to, well, the middle of his island by the looks of it. Not seeing a transport ship from him yet, but it certainly looks like he will be intending to transport these over. I mean, 3 archers here, or 3 archery ranges even, and that's a pretty big sign to me that he's, yeah, gonna want to take them over to Robo's side and hit his eco. Problem is, I think Hallis is letting his guard down a little bit. You know, he's going over to these docks now, and this is the first time he's attacked the dock all game, even though he's had the water for quite some time. And Robo's just going to walk right in on this right-hand side. Fantastic stuff by him. Should be able to get quite a few fishing ships here if he plays it right. I don't know if he's noticed, though. What's he doing? He's got straight behind him. 1 fishing ship down. And I think maybe he should have waited a little bit longer until he had a few more galleys there, because Robo is a little bit outnumbered. However, I mean, this is the thing now. He's going to get 1. He's going to disrupt these guys a little bit. Going to attack the fishing ship with his scout. Fantastic stuff. And maybe he could bring it back on the water. 16 warships for Robo, and Hallis has 19. There's only 3 difference. And if Robo does bring it back, I'll be very impressed. Taking down a couple of fishing ships already. But Robo needs to attack with his full army now, because if he's attacking in small groups like this, he is just going to throw it away. And 16 warships for Robo, 21 for Hallis. He still has the advantage, though. 6 of them are out of position on this left side. Robo just needs to make sure he keeps his foot on the gas. It would be his galleys then for now, and it looks like his economy is set up to do it. He's just taken his cows, he's finished off his berries, but look at all this wood income, look at all this gold. He's doing nothing but galleys at this point in time, and I think Hallis, yeah, about to go up to the castle age. I was going to say, I mean, there's no way he wouldn't be nearly up to castle at this point in time with all those fishing ships working away. So it seems to me like he wants to do a landing, almost, but he's not built the transport ship to do it. And if Robo can get a good amount of galleys out now and actually take the galleys back from Hallis, then he could retake water entirely, and Hallis would have thrown a lot of resources down the drain building these fishing ships. So Robo needs to act quick, he needs to get these numbers out quickly, and if he can win this fight, this could be huge for him. I mean, currently it's 3 docks to 6, and Hallis now clicking up to the castle age, so this is what I'm saying. Robo has to act quickly, otherwise Hallis will get that war galley upgrade very soon. So now is the time to go, and I think Robo probably gets the feeling that he needs to attack very soon. he needs to do it, and he needs to do it quickly. Come on, man. I want to see him. I want to see him get a little bit of a comeback here. It would be nice. It looks like he's got the advantage. 26 warships for Robo and 24 for Hallis. Robo has the advantage, but he does lack a little bit of army control. And this is the thing. He's got to get up quickly. He's got to attack quickly. 50% to castle for Hallis. And that timer is ticking away. The time he's got left is ticking away until the war galley upgrade is going to be done, and all the advantages of the castle age will start to work in favour of Hallis here. But Robo, I mean, he's not going forwards. He's got to know. Surely he's got to know he's got the advantage here. Surely, he's sending them over now. Finally, going to make a move, and he could do this. He really could. He has the galleys he needs. He just needs to commit to the fight, and it needs to patrol as well, because at the moment a lot of his galleys are kind of just pulling forwards on their own, and it's not ideal. But you know, with this many galleys, he could take down the docks pretty quickly as well here, and he of course has forced Hallis back. Problem for Hallis is that he doesn't want to engage yet with these galleys until the war galley upgrade is done. It's going to go up on this right hand dock, but the dock may go down before the war galley upgrade is complete, and I think it might, you know. Looks like Robo's going to actually deny this war galley upgrade from the dock. Of course, Hallis will get the resources back, but he may not notice in time, in which case it's going to delay his war galley even further. And there you go, the war galley upgrade stopped entirely. Hallis gonna lose a couple of galleys in front of this dock here. Second dock about to go down, and Hallis is probably wondering, where the hell is my war galley upgrade? He's reassigned it to the dock on the left, but Robo's not letting up yet. He's still making galleys from 6 docks. He's still got the advantage in terms of numbers, and just look at the huge quantity of galleys that he has. Difference here though is that Hallis does have Bodkin Arrow, and he also is about to have war galley any second now. There they go. This engagement is so crucial. This is where the game at this stage is make or break. Robo, his army really badly controlled. They're just kind of going all over the place, taking a huge amount of damage and not really attacking together at all. This is looking a little bit sketchy. Robo gonna resign right there. Man, he was so close to the comeback. Honestly, he was so close. If he'd have just put the pressure on a little bit earlier, he really could have come back from that. You know, if he'd have taken those docks out a little sooner, if he'd killed this army of galleys from Hallis a little bit sooner, which he could have done, then he would have regained water control, and he may have made a comeback from that. So really good play from Hallis. A very close comeback from Robo there, but ultimately Hallis did take it with that war galley and that Bodkin Arrow upgrade, and that was actually a really exciting Team Islands game. Usually, you know, watching galley wars can be a little bit, oh, well, it's just galleys, but this was actually quite intense, and it was definitely very enjoyable. I'm glad that Robo tried to come back on the water, and he made a really good job of it. So there we go, that's game number 1. Score now 1-0 to Hallis. Of course, this is a best of 3, so game 2 will be coming your way very soon. But as usual, guys, I've been Zach. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.